All right. So this is a little late for me, but I wanted to do this video. I had already done the thumbnail, so after this I'm just going to upload it. There's going to be no editing. I'm just going to try to fix this here. I have no legs to this ring light, but somehow it's working. It's two legs held together with duct tape, neon orange duct tape, and it's on top of like a index card filing box and my feet. It seems to work. So it's not like right up in my face, but there you go. So I wanted to use this channel to kind of focus on me learning more about other forms of training, programming, and to give my input on how I program and to kind of mix it all together. You know what I mean? So I like the YouTube algorithm because it kind of puts stuff that I'm already looking for. So that respect, I like it. So I happened upon this guy, Logan the Sentinel. I should take this in my hand. Logan the Sentinel. Well, you see the thumbnail. All right, that's why I used this as a thumbnail. And he talks about something that I already know about intuitively, but didn't put into words. Basically saying that, from what I understand from the video, is when you have exercises that indirectly target muscles, it counts as a percentage. He states his method, his way is like it's a fraction of the amount of volume. Like, let's say you're doing bench press, it's covering, let's say you're doing it for your chest, but it's also hitting shoulders and triceps, let's say. And so it counts towards the total uh, daily or weekly volume for those muscle groups. So you you don't overdo it, because when you overdo it, like right now I have a knee injury, overdoing it. Certain parts of my body I've learned to not overdo it. It's taken many years. So let's see a little bit of his video, or you could just go to his site, you know. But let's play a little bit here. It's 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Put this on full screen.
Sooner or later, it'll be the size of my head. Look at the triceps, man. That's where it stops. Damn. In this video, I'm going to show you the best way that I believe to track training volume in order to make sure you're not doing too much or too little. Someone like me...
Okay, I'm switching back and forth here. It's all about the tracking. I used to not be a tracker. I used to be a lot very holistic and just do what I feel like doing. But what ended up happening is, because of my personality, you want to push through, even though you feel some. I'm very susceptible to, you know, impingements, some tendonitis or tendinopathy. Everything is bound to break down if I don't listen to it and make a written note, which will help me store mentally what I'm doing, and know that I'm doing too much and I need to recover. I need to take some days off or reduce volume or whatever the choices may be. But at least it's an informed choice. So let's get back to this.
Who needs to do the compound lifts because A, I have a home gym setup and I can't fit a $5,000 machine in my basement, or B, you're a power lifter and the reason you...
I have one of those. It's got clothes on it, but yeah. Anyways, did you see that? Let me just... there we go. What was this? Focus problem. Yeah, I have one of those machines. All right. Back to this.
Want to get bigger muscles is not only to look good, but to make those muscles that are big now more powerful. One of the biggest problems that I had in the beginning of all of this was doing way too much volume, because when I first started training, I did more of an exclusive bodybuilding style. I had access to my high school gym. There were machines everywhere, so I could do like 8 sets of chest and 6 sets of triceps, with it actually being only 6 sets of triceps. But if I was to do 8 sets of bench press instead of a cable fly, that's way more tricep volume. So I came up with a system. It's not really my idea.
I like that. I like his insight. You know, doing cable flies take the stress off that you're not using your triceps, so then you can hit them fresh with a tricep exercise. If you're doing a bench press, you gotta include the triceps in there because they're working. You know what I mean? So I like where he's coming from already.
Yeah, I've heard it in some places before, but it's something that really works for me, which is to take certain compound movements and count it towards volume for smaller muscles, but count it as a fractional amount, because you will notice that a bench press, although the triceps are heavily involved, you probably don't want to count each set of bench press as one set of triceps. You can't just do the compound movements. I know a lot of powerlifters do that. They just do squat, bench, and deadlift, squat, bench, and deadlift, but they're leaving in a lot of gaps.
Yeah, I just want to make note that, okay, if he's talking about powerlifting, I'm not for that. I'm just for the hypertrophy. Um, so make your decision.
And I don't like that. So what I do is, we'll use the triceps again as an example. I do a lot of pressing. And if my goal for triceps was to do, let's say, 8 sets a week, which might sound really low for a lot of you, but if you're like me and you train really heavy, you train in a very close proximity to failure most of the time. If I train upper body twice a week, unlike the 3 times a week I was just recently doing, and I did 4 sets of bench on Monday and 4 sets of a Swiss bar bench, which is even more tricep intensive, but we'll just count it as 0.5 on Thursday, what you have now is 4.
What's a Swiss bar bench? Let me look that up real quick since I got you there. Swiss bar bench press. Oh, those types of bars. Got it. All right. Where the fuck is he? Let me see. Oh, here we go. Get back to this. I have too many tabs open.
4 is 8. So you have
So hold on. He said
triceps, because on Thursday I did 4 sets of bench on Monday and 4 sets of a Swiss bar bench, which is even more tricep intensive, but we'll just count it as 0.5.
Okay.
On Thursday, what you have now is 4 and 4 is 8. So you have 4 sets of triceps, because half of 4 is 2, half of 4 is 2. That combines for 4. So that would mean I have 4 sets left. So what I would do on that Monday and on that Thursday is 2 extra sets of tricep extensions or skull crushers or JM presses and what have you. Now, that might sound really weird, because you see a lot of these routines that guys show where they'll do 4 sets of bench and like 5 sets of skull crushers on top of that. That's the way that I used to train, but I found that in order...
I'd be dead after that. I can't, like, you know, with Mike Israel's minimum effective volume and fatigue to stimulus to fatigue ratio, like, it doesn't take much to get me fatigued. I won't say I get close to failure when I train, but I'm very sensitive. It doesn't take much to get me going. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 sets, working sets, and sometimes I don't even warm up. I just go right into it because my weights are not extravagant, but the tension is extravagant. So
to have have more long-term progress and not like overtrain my joints, and to have my strength levels keep going up and up and up, whether I'm bulking or cutting, I had death by volume. And so when I track my volume this way, it becomes so much better. And in the bigger picture of things, when you keep training and training and training,
He's got a lot of introspection, so that's pretty good. That's good. He's able to see what the extra volume is doing to him. He's able to notice that, so that's very good.
you are going to want to add sets. So think of it this way. If I said I wanted 8 sets of triceps and I did what I used to do and just discount all of the barbell pressing I would do all those bench press, 8 sets of bench, and then I'd do an extra 4 sets of triceps on Monday and 4 sets on Thursday, which is a whole bunch more volume. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting to that point, but you don't want to start at that point, especially if you train intense like I do. So what would happen is eventually I'd say, you know what, maybe I feel like I can do a little bit more. Maybe my training's getting a little bit too easy. I can always add sets on top of that. So I'll change my weekly goal of tricep volume from 8 to 10 or 9. So, and depending on how I want to move things, either in order to get that 9 sets of tricep work, let's say if I wanted to move from 8 to 9, I could do an extra set of bench press on Monday, an extra set on Thursday, which would raise my chest volume and my tricep volume, because remember, we're counting these things as half, as like fractions. Each compound lift is 0.5. So that would be an extra set here, an extra set there would add up to 1. So that would raise my tricep volume. So without doing...
Yeah, it's something for me to mull over, this concept, because what usually happens to me is I have an idea of how many sets I'm doing, but sometimes when I'm in it, I realize I can only do a certain amount of sets, maybe 2 or 3. Now, if I listen to Mike Israetel, it's like, well, you have it written, so you have to do 3, even though you feel like doing 2 or 1. Or maybe I would I would note how many I have. Like if you saw the previous videos I did on this programming, I read it all in notes. Like I have an idea, but then the next time I might not do as much. I might track that conjugately or concordantly, but it's not conjugate, but it's like I'll keep note of that. And if it, a lot of times when I mix things up or add something, something has to be subtracted because I feel it and I'm not able to do it. But the past couple of years, since COVID especially, but since 2019, so we're talking about 4 years, going on 5, I've been using bullet journals to track, and I've been tracking more, and it's helped me a lot through getting through things. So that's why I'm doing these videos, to be better at programming and to continue to get results, which I have been in certain areas, which I'm very happy for. All right, let's continue here.
doing any more direct tricep work, I would still be getting more tricep work. And if I wanted to get my volume up to 10 sets, all I would do is, instead of adding a set of bench on each day, I would do 3 sets of jam presses here and 3 sets of sculpt crushes there. And you look at that on the face level and you think that's only 6 sets, but it's way more than that if you do a lot of barbell pressing. This applies to the biceps too. Let's look at chin-ups, for example. If on Monday you do 4 sets of chin-ups, I would say the biceps are very heavily involved, but in order to...
Okay, so I'm getting the concept here. I'm going to leave it here because the concept is that, oh, he has something in writing here. Yeah, biceps and back. Let me just see here.
Session. And that is so much goals. Like, I really want to bench 315. My short-term goal is 300.
He's got weight goals, so I don't have weight goals. I have it's kind of a continuous creeping hypertrophy goal while keeping injuries at bay. and adding in more variety. So let's say right now, because my knee is out of commission and I'm hobbling around on a crutch, I still go to the gym. Um, I stick with things that I can do to prevent atrophy, but bringing things up like I could do glute bridges. It doesn't require a lot of flexion in my knee, and I'm lying on my back, so it's not on my body weight. I can do abductors and adductors. Like I have to work stabilizing muscles that don't that are turned off, which probably didn't help with causing the knee problem. But when I get an injury, I focus on things that I can do in the general area, and the goal is to be able to do all that, preventing injuries. But sometimes my upper body has been very good in terms of shoulders, but I've been focusing on. I've had shoulder problems for long, long time. And I feel now that I'm able to kind of dose it well. When I get a little pinching here, I know I got to add some more stretches, and I know I got to add more pulling movements and ease off on the pushing. And so I can kind of dose the frequency of doing that. And it's been working tremendously. I got to find the same thing. My elbow, I'm starting to get going, because I'll get like a medial epicondylitis. So on those times, I can focus on hammer curls and reverse curls, um, and do the bicep curls or preacher curls less often. Focus on stretching, which I neglected a little bit, but it's finding proper workarounds to keep going. And I won't say I'm completely happy, but there's something coming from it. So that's all I want to do and say. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. My advice on the way I program, and see what kind of programming works for you, what you can do. Just let me know. All right, that is that.